I think one of the positions that we normally don't talk about too much is the tight end position. That can become one of our biggest weaknesses this year if Dallas Goedert can't stay healthy. Okay, because we have nothing behind it. Really, we don't. It's a big question mark what's going on at tight end. Tight end two, who is the future tight end? Who is the future tight end to take Dallas Goedert's place, or at least a productive number two? But we're here to talk about that position and that position only because I think it's really important going forward. So let's get into it.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, what's going on, guys? I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. So, a lot of people haven't been talking about tight end. Now, the Eagles have not upgraded tight end this year, okay? They really haven't done much. I think tight end will be more of a next year type thing after this year. A lot of weapons in this offense. But the number one thing that needs to happen is that Dallas Goedert needs to stay healthy. There's no doubt about it. He's got to stay healthy. He's always missing, 5 to 6 games a season. Some of these injuries aren't his fault. The coaching staff, the way it was, I'm not going to rehash it, but we barely targeted him last year early in the season. And then when they started to target him, first Cowboy game, one of the Cowboy players took his arm, to the ground, broke his forearm. He was out for a while. But they never integrated another guy into the offense to find out. They kind of completely ignored the position after Dallas Goedert got hurt. And that's what I really didn't like about the coaching staff last year regarding the tight end position. You go into a year now. Now, Dallas Goedert's going to be a free agent, counting this year, next year, and the year after. So by I think after the 26th season, he'll be 30 years old. He's 28 right now. And yeah, I mean, if Dallas Goedert stay healthy the whole year, then great. But you did a couple of things even in the offseason that were kind of questioning. I mean, even signing Albert O last offseason was like, this is a guy who has starting experience. We had to trade for him because we're coming off a 22 season where we were last on the waiver wire list, so there was no way he was going to land towards us. So we decided to trade for him, and they never used him last year. They barely did. I don't know how many he must have got. He got probably a little tiny bit of playing time, but it wasn't much. Not even 5 catches, okay, or even targets his way. And Albert O, like I said, starring experience, and I thought this was a really good trade. This was a guy that could probably be the future number one. So barely used him last year. Then, he was only on a 1-year deal when they traded for him, so they ended up, or at least 2 years, whatever it was. So they ended up re-signing him. He was probably one of the first signings we had, the start of March. And, as of right now, he's on the roster, and I'm hoping there's big plans for him. I'm dying for another tight end to, kind of surge himself a little bit, into this lineup and be productive. Losing Jack Stahl was definitely a big loss. He went to the New York Giants, and he, a great blocker and, reliable hands. And, when Jack Stahl was there, we used him. But now he's not here anymore. So Albert O hopefully gets, hopefully could do something, and hopefully they use him a lot this year. We'll see more out of training camp. Grant Calcaterra is another player that I think has a high ceiling, no doubt. Now, this guy came from SMU. I think what SMU played at Oklahoma with Jalen Hurts, had a lot of injuries in college, okay, and then comes to the NFL, and we've seen some good things from Calcaterra. I think he's got good speed, he can get separation, he's got good hands when they give him a chance, but he gets these little tiny, these little bit of injuries, these little teeny injuries that he gets, whether it's a shoulder, it's an ankle, it's concussions have been like the worst in his career. That's why he got a lot of concussions in college, and then he still got another concussion when he came back. He was out for like 2 weeks with a concussion. You know what I mean? So I know the league is being a little bit crazy with the concussion protocol now. They're literally, players are going to be out realistically 1 to mostly 2 games from concussions. This is another guy that just can't stay healthy all year. So it's really hard for me to, put too much promise into him as of right now. You signed CJ Uzomah. He hasn't played good the last few years. I mean, he was with the Jets. He might have had an injury. I don't think he did, but with the Bengals a few years ago, he played really well. And then with the Jets, he really didn't do much of anything. He's 31 years old. I mean, This is just a veteran. When they signed CJ Uzomah, I pretty much said to myself, they're definitely not upgrading this position. They weren't upgrading it in the draft. They kind of it was already set in stone when they signed a 31-year-old tight end at this point. So we'll see what happens with CJ. He's got a lot of experience. So if Goedert goes down, I'm guessing that CJ Uzomah is already going to be the number 2 unless Albert O kind of goes a little crazy. Or Grant Calcaterra kind of integrates some of these guys if that's the case. And then you have obviously McAllen Castles from Tennessee, the undrafted free agent. I really don't know much about him, and let's see what he does during camp, because I'm not putting too much into him with what's in front of him right now. So we'll see what happens with him. But with Dallas Goedert, yeah, we know Dallas Goedert is probably a top 5 tight end in the league, no doubt. If healthy, could do so much better. Obviously, his statistics are hurt because of these injuries that are hindering his career right now, missing games. But hopefully, with Kellen Moore's system, if Dallas Goedert does get hurt, there's going to be other options out there. But if Kellen Moore, the one thing Kellen Moore is not going to do is completely ignore this position. But I think the tight end position will be an upgrade for next year. I think they will. If they don't find much in Albert O and Grant Calcaterra, I think they upgrade this position next year. Could be an early round pick tight end or something like that. I don't know. I'm not seeing them paying a free agent, but I'm seeing them at least drafting tight end a little bit higher next year, because I feel like they got to get somebody in the building that is somewhat pre-ready to take the reins in a few years with Dallas Goedert. We don't know what's going to happen. Dallas Goedert, they could get rid of Dallas Goedert after a couple more years. But like I said, Goedert has got to stay healthy for that position to work out. And obviously giving guys other chances, having this off-season program, seeing what you're going to get during joint practices and some of these preseason games is going to be a big difference. So give these guys the best looks possible of who could be that number 2 behind Dallas Goedert. If I was to guess, CJ Uzomah will probably be the best player, but I think Albert O could be, because Albert O's got acrobatic catching. He gets the ball pretty easily. He's got really strong hands. He moves more than a tight end. He looks like a wide receiver at times. He gets really good separation. Route running is fantastic. I just think we need to, just see what we have here. Could be a big downgrading position if Dallas Goedert just can't stay healthy all year. And that's really all I have to say about that. Let me know what you guys think about the tight end position in general going down the line. Do you think it's enough? Do you think they, need to grab another guy out there? I don't think they're going to touch this position at all, but I guess, we'll find out once the time comes. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Cover the Eagles every single day. We'll be going over every day of training camp, at the end of July, and the whole entire season. Make sure you like the video. It does help out the channel tremendously. And if you guys haven't checked out the Philly Shakedown podcast merch, definitely check out that merch. We have 6XL shirts now. We have women single women tees. We have youth t-shirts. Like I said, ladies t-shirts as well. So we're gonna have some more designs in the coming days going forward. And a big release before the season starts. So definitely check out all that great stuff in the description below. And let me know about that tight end position, because I think it's definitely going to be it's going to be interesting. I'm figuring that they really were going to try to upgrade, but maybe they think they're good enough right now at the position, think they could produce Albert O and make him, actually give him more playing time and see what he could really do and other things like that. So other than that, guys, pretty much it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Shakes what up, follow side. Peace out, guys. Peace.